Welcome, Ibu Mai Fujii.
Halo,
Hello, good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Hi, we can start our guest lecture today. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, I mean. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and warm greetings to all of you joining us today. Let me start with a little pantun, Ibu Mai. Do you know pantun? Yeah. Across the seas, the sunshine beams, learning together, fulfill our dreams. Today we meet with hearts that care to share new knowledge from here to everywhere. Okay. Welcome to our guest lecture on international collaboration hybrid education in nursing management and palliative care. It's great to see all of you guys here together with the same purpose to learn, to connect, and to grow together in the field of nursing. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are very honored to welcome our incredible speaker, Ibu Mai Fujii, Ph.D., RN, PhN from Meio University, Okinawa, Japan. Ibu Mai, thank you so much for joining us, both in spirit and in screen. We are truly delighted to have you here. Before we begin, let me share a little story about the place Ibu Mai comes from, Okinawa, one of the world's famous blue zones. For those who might not be familiar, blue zones are regions where people live significantly longer, healthier, and happier lives compared to the global average. And Okinawa is often called the land of the immortals. What makes Okinawa special? Well, it's not just the stunning beaches or the peaceful way of life. It's the culture of connection. Okinawans practice ikigai, a sense of purpose that keeps them active and joyful even in their 80s, 90s, and beyond. They also embrace Moai, lifelong social groups that support each other emotionally, socially, and sometimes even financially. And of course, let's not forget their diet: fresh vegetables, tofu, sweet potatoes, green tea, simple, healthy, and shared together. So today, we're not only learning from Ibu Mai Fujii expertise in nursing, management, and palliative care, but also from the spirit of a community in Okinawa, a culture that truly understands care, connection, and well-being, and it is rarely matched with our topic today about Japan's aging population and the long-term care insurance system. Ibu Mai, thank you for bringing a piece of Okinawa's wisdom into our session today. We feel very fortunate to learn from you. Ibu Mai, the screen is yours. Before we start, maybe I will introduce Ibu Mai. Ibu Mai Fujii, graduate from University of Ryukyu, and her master degree graduate from Michigan State University and University of Tokyo, and she finished her doctoral program in international health in the University of Tokyo. And her professional experience is she is able in nursing assistant in Novo Hospital Okinawa and Human Service Alliance NGO and Ginowan Memorial Hospital, and also public health nurse in Hyogo Prefecture, and also technical advisor in Ministry of Welfare Malaysia, health officer in Malaysia office, Jika Malaysia office, and researcher in Japan Development Service, and also assistant professor in community nursing, Fukushima Medical University. And now he is in Meio University as a lecturer and researcher, and also clinical instructor in KU University School of Nursing. And Ibu Mai Fujii also now as a public health nurse in Nihonmatsu City Government, and also senior associate professor and area lead Department of Nursing, Meio University. And now also director Language Learning Center in Meio University. So many license and certification and also professional membership and activities that Ibu Mai have. And also she also top performance rating in 2010. Okay, Ibu Mai, thank you very much, and also very so many professional awards. And I think now the screen is yours. We can share your metri, or you want to share with your own?
Thank you. Thank you, Mutia. I think I will share by myself. It's easier, probably.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Okay, yes.
Let me
It's
try.
okay. Yeah, we can see your
Slides now. Very good. All right. Good. All right. Can you see my slide?
yeah, I can see the slide,
Which one?
but
2 slides or 1 slide?
two slides. Two
Ah,
slides.
okay. So I will share another one then, because I wanted to share something different. Okay. How about
Now, yeah,
1
it,
slide or 2
one
slides?
slide. Yeah,
Huh?
it's full screen now.
Full screen.
Yeah,
Not 2 slides. 1 slide.
one slide.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, it's good.
Sure. All right. So, good afternoon, everyone. Selamat siang. Nama saya
Iya.
Mai
Selamat
Fujii.
siang.
Yeah, selamat siang. So, today's topic, first of all, thank you very much for providing this wonderful opportunity for me. This is very much honorable chance for me as well. So, I really appreciate and also very glad and happy to meet you all. So, as Mutia explained, I'm from Japan. So my title for today is Japan's Aging and Long-Term Care Insurance System, LTCI in short. This is basically for preparing for Indonesia's future aging society, hopefully. So again, I'm Mai Fujii, and I just skipped my title. So now, just for, I think I have 50 minutes or so, and the content will be below 5 topics. Firstly, let me have a chance to introduce myself briefly, and then followed by global Japanese aging trend. Number 3, Japan's healthcare and long-term care systems. And in order for you to visualize and imagine more concretely, I will introduce 2 case studies. And then I also would like to explain how Indonesian people contribute our country in Japan. And at the end, of course, I'm going to have a session for the Q&A. Hopefully, some people provide any comments, opinions, and questions. So I'm going to go for the self-introduction. You just saw just my CV, but I'm not sure if you could capture my background or not. So I have almost 30. Okay, firstly, I just wrote who is Mai Fujii. Then I just wrote bukan siapa-siapa, just ibu biasa. Yeah, I'm not the great person or anything, but in word, maybe I'm a person committed to advancing public health. My background is purely public health. So for my career for 30 years, firstly, I was working as a nurse in the hospital. I went to 4-year university course and obtained the license for the nurses. And in my country, we have another national license called public health nurse. So in order to work public health centers, we need this kind of license. So I obtained both. And firstly, I worked in the hospital. Then I shifted to the health centers. So more sort of the cure, providing nurse care side to prevention care. I shifted. And then I moved to Malaysia. That's why I little bit understand Indonesian and Malaysian language. And I was working as a health advisor. And I also studied in Malaysian University when I was in the master's course students. Then I don't know if you've heard about JICA. JICA is Japan International Cooperation Agency, where Japan as a country provide the international aid to any countries, including your country. So I was the advisor there. And also, I then became the faculty of the medical university, which I'm talking about this left-hand side. And on your right-hand side is another how many years? 15 years or so. And I had an opportunity to become the WHO officer, World Health Organization. For the first 6.5 or 7 years, I was working in the headquarters, Geneva, Switzerland. Then I shifted to Seattle, which is the regional office located in India. So the regional office covers 11 countries, including your countries, Indonesia. And then I became JICA expert. I was working in Sudan, working in Nepal, Philippines, Laos, PDR, etc. And I then, as everyone knows, COVID-19 pandemic happened and everyone's life alters all of a sudden. For me, I was at that time working as a medical university. I needed to also change my occupation based on the requirement of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I moved to Singapore for international organization. Then I was just contributing to the firstly refugee support, refugee camp support, because Ukraine and Russia conflict happened. And I also contributed to logistics of the medical supplies, the masks and gowns and etc. for the medical players, everyone, for like doctors and nurses and assistants. And then just very recently, from last year, 2 years ago, 2023 to present, I'm working at the university again. And I'm covering many different areas now. Here is my brief education and professional qualifications. I have, in Japan, I have 2 national licenses. And the last one is yoga teacher, means basically it's a school nurse. There is a special types of teacher who takes children's mental aspect or physical aspect, basically supporting health aspect, not teaching actually, not teach to teach. Yeah. And then education is, as you can see, little by little, I try to advance by myself in terms of, intellectual aspect. Now, let's go on to the actual topic. So, global and Japanese aging trends. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So firstly, what is aging? I'm not very sure how much in your educational system concerned about this topic, because in Japan, this is a very big social topic. So from the first year of the nursing course, we need to learn. And this is very, very familiar thing for most Japanese people. Firstly, let's think about what is the impact of the aging in terms of health, in terms of care, in terms of economics, and in terms of systems. So firstly, health impact means how elderly change compared to when they are young. I already put some very short answers here, so I'm going to just describe it. Increased chronic disease like diabetes. This may happen from much younger age if your lifestyle is not ideal, though. But still, the risk, just the simple risk itself, if you choose, of course, the elderly people have higher risk because their fragility. Then heart diseases, dementia, high grades of disability requiring specialized care. Now, naturally, all of you could imagine. So maybe these people need to go to the hospital more. They need to see the doctor more frequently, and they have to repeatedly go to clinics and hospital or health centers for longer term than the youngsters. Now, let's talk about the care. Rising healthcare costs. This is basically about the policy, though. When we think about the aging people as a mass, the healthcare cost is not the joke. It is rising. It's going to be rise, and it is rising in my country. And it usually expenditure will be considered from the national budgets. Of course, partially it's going to be paid by individual pockets, but for everything in any world, it is not possible. So at the same time, in my country, later on I'm going to show the population pyramids, but workforce shrinks. Workforce means the generation aged from 15 to 64. The number of these people productive age is decreasing in my country. So it's going to be naturally counted out as a fewer taxpayers will be decreasing. Now the topic moved to economical aspect. Severe shortage of caregivers and healthcare professionals. Families face increasing burden of informed caregiving. Oh, this one is upside down, sorry. But this is the same thing, care. We're gonna face very critical issues for the caring. Now, the system. Then let's think about the systems. Probably our country's system is much different from your country's system. But think about if you are told by very much trustworthy doctors that your left life is 1 year. Do you want to spend life in the hospital or any facilities or at home with families? It's your choice. In Japan, actually, long time ago, most people have died at home because simply we didn't have clinics and hospital enough, especially right after 1945, after World War II. The country itself was poor, not enough doctors and nurses, no clinics and hospitals, and most of the illness, they just go seek the medications, and they didn't require complicated or dense treatment at the clinic. Therefore, eventually it was very natural for any person to have their terminal life at home. Then Japan had welcomed economic growth and the educational system set up, and doctors and nurses were produced, and we had enough facilities. Then many people actually automatically shifted to the hospital side for the terminal place. Then, after a few decades, now again people's mind back to the home centers, community-based care or home-centered life. So here, this is the system movement from hospital centers to community-based care, greater need for preventive and home-based services. This is where Japan at now, right? So now I will ask you to shift your mind to the world, not from Japan itself. So let's together view the world trends. All right. I will show 3 major points, including the future future scope. So firstly, aging means I will define in this lecture the elderly people are those whose age is 65 or more. So if in your population, if you have large portion of elderly, we will say it's aging. Aging is advancing. So older adults, or elderly, now makes up about 10%. I don't know if your country says 10 of the world population. This is a little bit older year, 3 years ago, but more or less the same, almost 10%. But in 1950, it was only 5%. It was very much minority. And everyone, young children, I mean, the elderly's son and daughter, grandson and granddaughter, or great-grandson and daughter could take care of this person. It was minority. And another aspect is people didn't live that long, most people. Now the world age of longevity is 70 or over, so world changed. Now let me go to the second point. The share proportion, I mean, of elderly is projected to reach about 16% of the world population by 2050. So it's going to be 3 times or more compared to 1950s. And 2050 is not far future. It's coming. And I believe, not me, but all of you, most of you will alive. You are not even elderly yet, I believe. It's going to be a critical issue. Then the number 3, the number of people aged 65 or more is expected to increase about 700 million in 2019 to nearly 1.5 billion by 2050, almost doubled. So the number itself, not only the proportion, if you see, is also increasing. This is world trend. So this trend won't go back, will only advance. This is a trend. So now let's look at this some strange figure. I don't think you are familiar with this one, so I will explain about it. This one picture explains so many things. Firstly, look at this number. 1980, 90, 2018, 2050. Look at what year is now? This year is 2025. So we are in this yellow part. So this stronger yellower part will be the projection future. And this is still the calculated out, but based on the past events. All right, what happened in the past. This is the year, same. And the right-hand side is about male. Left is male, right is female. But more or less the same, you can see the proportion. Then this is a people's year. The very bottom is 30 years old. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I didn't describe about the children because today's topic is about the elderly. So 65 years old is here, here, or more. So, and then here, how many people? If you want to see the actual extent of the actual number of people, you can see this line, right? So this is the age distribution of the world population by sex. Okay. So first, the very strong blue part is a long time ago. Young people are much larger, and elderly from this part or upper was smaller. But now look at this here, yellow part. Younger population is still about this much, but 65 is from this line. You see my arrow from here or more. Can you see how large a proportion is? Then, do you think this trend will increase? I mean, the number of elderly people, and not the number, proportion, the percentage, will increase or decrease? The answer is very simple. It will increase. Okay, now let's look at the actual, let's go back to the actual country, our country, Japan, and your country. So this is our country now, 2024, based on the national census. Here, a blue one is the male, described male. Pink one are describing female. And here you can see the age range. Here's a percentage. So from 0 till this red line is 64. And this red line and above are the proportion of elderly. I don't know if you can feel this amount is 30% or not, but actually someone calculated out it's 30% almost. Now, on the other hand, your country, the elderly people probably, even though if you just walk in the town or street, if you see 100 people you are across, maybe according to the stats, you will see only 7 elderlies. In my country, if you see 3 people, 1, 2, 3 elderly, 1, 2, 3 elderly, 1, 2, 3 elderly, this much. See, can you imagine how different it is? Then you have no worries yet, because let's look at, this is 14, age 14 to 65. So your country, these large number of people are actually working or workable people. But in our country, workable people are much smaller, and this workable people needs to bring the children and then also take care of elderly. And I believe your country, the population is still growing, but our population is decreasing. So now let's look at the your country's 7%. Let's concentrate on this 7%. Here, can you see? I just wanted to know, for my curiosity, how long ago Japan had 7% of the elderly people. It was almost 55 years ago. Of course, the war is already finished, and yeah. And our population pyramid is a little bit different form from yours, because this 20 to 24, we had a larger population, particularly larger population called the baby boom. And these people produce the next generation. So it's smaller, but you can see from a little bit older age, this number, newborn till under 5 number, is a bit larger. Yeah. At this time it was 7%. Then it's going to be grown and grown and grown. So I'm not very much sure, but when your country will decrease the younger generation, but definitely with the economic growth and healthcare improvement, of course, your country will have more elderly people in future. So now, for your information, I wanted to explain about the Japan's healthcare and long-term care system very briefly. This is the overview of our country's health systems. Firstly, I think you are familiar with the word universal health coverage. There are three aspects, the cost and access and population. So we have reached the universal health coverage a long time ago. So everyone basically is covered by medical insurance, even though who is not working, who is handicapped, who is poor, everyone, even children and foreigners as well. If that foreigner stay 90 days or more, which means 3 months, right? So everyone has access to medical care. And there is no referral system. So people can choose and go to the hospital with the medical insurance card. And only partially we covered. Here, look at this, cost sharing. A patient pay 10 to 30% of the cost. Very average way of thinking is 30%. We usually think, oh, we have to go to hospital. It's gonna be $100. I have to prepare $30 to pay for the hospital. The rest is the national one covers at the reception, right? Yeah, the percentage varies, of course. And however, for this insurance, we have to pay. So look at these funding sources. How this system is established. There are 3 or 4 different insurance systems. Later on, I'm going to explain. But basically, any insurance system is 3 aspects. Country itself, Japan as a country covers, put some tax there. And for those who is working, the company also covers. Usually 50% of the fee. Then the individual needs to pay. That's basically the system. So let me turn to the service access. Our system is basically have a large extent of the freedom. We can choose. I can choose clinic ABCDE, I go there. Clinic ABCDE, person B, go there. It's fine. Some countries have national insurance card, but this insurance card can be covered only if you go to that hospital, not this hospital. Our country is not like that. Now here is a benefit. Yeah. Then another system is this one. Medical care system for old. We have again the large number of people of old as well, which means for those whose age is 75 or more. Those people are usually, it is very natural to assume they're not working anymore. By the way, our retirement age is usually 65. And soon the system will come that we can receive pension at the age of 67 or so. So then for those who's very old, we have the system, and also for the handicapped eligibility. look at this financing. Those people are on covers only 10% of their own medical fee. The rest is national system covers. So benefit is comprehensive coverage, lower co-payment rate. They usually pay 7,000 yen. I don't know how to describe 7,000 yen. Maybe 5 kilograms of the rice. If you couldn't imagine, what is the best way to cover? I don't know. Maybe you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, then family set. You can buy three times or something like this. 7,000 yen is. So yeah, then of course they need to pay and they can be covered. And here is the very bottom, I illustrated very important thing. This special system was created to address unique healthcare needs of Japan's eldest citizens who typically require more medical services and have limited income. I'm not saying this succeeded, but somehow we needed this kind of system. We developed it. We are still worried and think and keep changing though. So this is the overall healthcare system structure about the insurance. So first three is about the 30% coverage part. Firstly, this one is for those who is working in the company. So maybe this one is, I don't know, it's very much similar about many other countries. So for company employees, company will deduct if it's $10 or something. If it's $10, they deduct $10 and pay the salary. So the salary receiver won't do anything. Also, this $10 together with another $10 from the company, total is $20 go to the national basket. Then whenever this employees got hurt or got disease or illness, they go to the hospital, he pays only 30% of the total amount. This is a system. Now this is more or less the national servant for the national servants. Yeah. So some countries have different systems. Maybe your country may have as a part of the welfare system. For example, national employees quite often have the education grant or house loan or pension together with medical services. But our country, medical service independently established only for the government employees. And this is more or less the same. Government employees will be deducted before they receive the payment, get the salary. So almost the same about this employment insurance systems. Then the biggest proportion and part is for those who are not working, housewife, farmers, yeah, working, but all self-employed. For those, all go here. They have to just pay. Yeah, keep paying. Little bit higher than old people. Then they get covered same 30%. That part is the same. And lastly is the part. This is a system for the old people. Yeah, we have this fourth system. Now this is a main part. This forget about this fourth system. We have another additional system, and this is very much unique in Japan. So I'd like to introduce long-term care insurance. All right, this is called long-term care insurance. All right, this one is very much recent one, established in 2000, millennium one, to support elderly care needs. So this is not for the healthy people, care needs. Support people who need care. Yeah. Otherwise, Japan Ministry of Finance thought it's gonna be bankrupt. Yeah, the cost became increased and increased and increased, right? So cost sharing, how it works. Everyone aged 40 plus a year payment. Basically, this is for elderly 65 or handicapped, 40 to 60 with age-related contributions. Yeah. So then coverage. This coverage means when they go to the hospital, 10% coverage, so which much lower, cheaper. Services is very much unique. Service included home care, someone visit home and care, day services. When someone go outside in front of their house at the gate, the small bus or car or someone come and pick up, they go to some recreation centers or any place and do some activities and come back. Yeah, manager, creative individuals, equipment rental, care managers creating individualized care plans. There is the specialized person called care managers. And this person has a very important role to develop the plan for each individual, which is very much unique. Now, this is the continued information. The main services here, home care, visit nurse, sometimes nurses visit or just a helper visit, daycare, home helpers. Facility care we also offer. Rehabilitation centers, they can go. Preventive or community programs to maintain independence. Rehabilitation is another important aspect. Now, here, you might not be interested in the last topic, but in terms of the policy, this is very much fundamental and cardio importance. The system provides the benefit of 5 million persons who are aged 65, which is large number. Yeah, expenditure, yeah, by using this care jumped from 3.6 to 11.7. So this actually, in terms of utilization, it was very much activated. Of course, another different issue we still hold though, but it is working system. Now, please look at this system. If I have time, I really want to explain so many things. Firstly, community-based integrated system. Firstly, I would like to introduce about this person. This person is called care manager. So let's say someone fall down in the house or maybe farmhouse, then got the fracture. And that person, maybe your mother or your grandfather, whoever, cannot walk by himself, by herself anymore. Maybe when lucky, maybe wheelchair, or maybe all day long they have to lay down. Such things, what do? In Japan, usually someone in the family go to city office, go to clinic, go to consult. Of course, the person needs to be treated, but even after the treatment, the situation will lay the same, continue the same. This person needs to survive with that kind of handicap for another 5 years or 10 years. What's going to do? This in Japan, if someone received any consultation, this information goes to care managers. Yeah, this is very qualified person after the past examination. This person actually visits the elderly people and assess which level. Level 1, level 2, level 4, 5, 6. There are 7 different levels. And based on the level, this, for example, if I'm the corresponding patient, I will be announced, you are level 4. So you can use these services, but you cannot use these services. For example, basing system, if it's 4, I cannot take. If it's 5, okay, or something. So this announcement is very important. But this assessment, there is a person who specializes for that. Then if I need to get any medical care or health care for the fracture, of course, where do you go? Where do you recommend for me to go? Treatment of the fracture. Of course, hospital. It's hospital or clinic. So I have a chance to go to this. And if I'm the old, 10%, as I said, I pay. And maybe once a month, once a 2 months, I go and come back. However, for the long-term care, I cannot cook, I cannot bath, or I still want to meet my friend or want to do something with someone. In that case, long-term care, I can choose this one. Rehabilitation, daycare, or home visiting care, especially the cancer or after cancer patient. Large number of patients use this system at home. Okay. Then also, in order to support this system, of course, transportation is also important. Usually, not family provide the person to the center. A van or special car comes, and then they can go. And here's another community class or people's coverage in the Association Long-Term Care. There's many different, or NPOs and etc. for the prevention. And if you don't have any body who live together or you need care, you are healthy but you need care, there's another option, on-home option or elderly housing option or co-living option in recent years. This is a system, right? So how the CI works, as I said, this is assessment. Assessment needs to be conducted in the beginning. The process begins with a standardized need assessment conducted by certified examiner called care manager. And certification, this is level 1 to 3 for care, level 1 to 5, support 1 to 2, care 1 to 5. Then care manager, as I said. Then care manager, based on this level, will develop the plan. Okay, if you want to see your friend outside, maybe someone come and pick you up twice a week and you can go this and there. Then, various services can be provided. That's the systems. Now let's go to care studies. Case studies. So here, Mr. A is living alone. Their service, so of course, after all the assessment and etc., he is using their service 3 times weekly for socialization, meals, and bathing. So someone comes and help bathing. And home visit. Nurse checks medications and health once a week. And home helper also comes with cleaning and supporting twice a week. Emergency call system installed electronically. So as a result, this person's wish is to live alone at own home is possible. This person is able to continue living independently while receiving necessary support. This is very typical case in Japan. Now, Mrs. B, this is female. This person has a family. However, this person is recovering from stroke. This person once fall down and referred to the emergency ward. Then with left side weakness, lives with a husband. So, but husband cannot take care 24 hours. Of course, I do understand in your society, in your religion, taking care of parents is fundamental. It is, of course, the very natural thing. It's very important. I truly respect your culture and way of thinking. However, one person take care another person for 24 hours is not possible. Person needs to sleep. Person have their own life. Therefore, based on that way of thinking, we provide this service. Then home rehabilitation twice weekly, and especially as for the rehabilitation, Japanese society believe it is better for the professional people provide a training with the professional knowledge and wheelchair and the bathroom equipment rental because it's expensive. And it's not, maybe this woman, even though age is 75, if you train, muscle training and how to move, and many training, maybe this person again can stand up by themselves. So that's why this person decided to rental. Day rehabilitation service once a week, caregiver training for husband also, because husband is also elderly. So husband also is the caregiver for this woman, but husband himself also receive the care. The result, gradual improvement for mobility and reduce the burden of the spouse. That's the result. That's how we use this system. Isn't that interesting? Now, quickly I go to the how Indonesian people contribute to Japan's care workforce. Actually, nowadays, as you can see, we already had a aging society, so we cannot survive by ourselves without the foreigner support. So the largest number, by the country, do you know which country's person comes to help as a workers, not the sightseeing, but the workers in Japan? Have you ever heard or have you have any interest on that aspect? I just say the answer, it's Vietnam. But second largest is actually your country, Indonesia. So I just explain very briefly how those people come to Japan. Firstly, there is the system called EPA. You may not familiar, I'm not sure, but this is the shorter word for stands for Economic Partnership Agreement. The purpose is not basically to help Japanese people. This is more sort of economic purpose. So to strengthen economic cooperation and the mutual partnership between Japan and partner countries. And then established some time ago, 2008. So only 3 countries we have this agreement: Indonesia, your country, Philippines, and Vietnam. And as for the medical or welfare area, only 2 national licenses. One is a registered nurse, and the other was the welfare ones. And firstly, for those who became got permit to come to Japan, had the 3-year residence permit. So they come to Japan as a system, work as a hospital, mostly hospital or clinic, for 3 years. But at the same time, that person after work needs to study Japanese language. Very hard, as well as the nursing, Japanese style nursing concept. Again, then within 3 years, that person can take the national exam together with many other Japanese national people. Then if that person obtained the Japanese nurse license, almost the whole year until retirement, the person can stay. Of course, continue 3-year permit, but no worries, no fear to lose this eligibility. That person can stay in Japan as long as that person wish to. But this is this system, to say reality first, is very difficult. The now exam passing rate is very low. This is almost the same for these 3 countries through Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam through. It's very low percentage of the passing rate for the nurses. Welfare is much higher. Now another one is TITP, Technical Intern Training Program. This is probably much easier to pass the eligibility to come. This is more sort of labor workforce related purpose that transfer skills and knowledge to developing countries. Then, low income countries. Then started in 1993, caregiving part is added to the 2017, very recent. And many different area is covered, but this caregiving part is very rapidly increasing. Duration is basically 3 years, but you can extend to 5 years, and current status over 350,000 interns in Japan. Yeah. Indonesia is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 2nd largest. Yeah. And they are very popular because you're very hard worker, serious and nice people. And key rule must return. However, the basic rule, you can see transfer skill is the purpose. So eventually you have to go back to your own country to transfer the skills. So in our country, it's not the student, but it's not the proper workers. Your status is basically the learning status. That's the main difference, though. All right. But we all appreciate your country's contribution to our country. So this is very rough and brief explanation about our country's aging issue and situation and systems, and how Indonesian people comes to our country to support 2 main systems. So my speech is about to end. I just show you the very last slide. Yeah. Okay, terima kasih banyak. Yeah, this is the end of the session. And I just wanted to introduce about one article. If you click, go to this site, you can see my article. Actually the United Nations was the developed it. And of course, you need to develop the use the translation application or something. But I think nowadays we can, easily use this one. And if you think it's good, please put the good button or like, or the Facebook system. Facebook can transfer. I don't know, share or transfer. I'm old person, so myself don't know the proper word, but if you introduce to others, I will appreciate. And you saw my CV at the beginning, but usually I'm on of the X or Facebook, and if you find this Mai Fujii, please give me any message. I can respond to your message easily. And this is 2 main parts, but some country, I'm not sure about your country, have regulations so you cannot contact. In that case, we have to think about something else. And this QR code is just to reach this article. That's it. Yeah. But anyway, again, thank you so much to have this opportunity. And also for me as an old person, I also want to appreciate, or with, amazing, a feel of amazing that we, who live in, far apart can meet together in such small screen. Yeah, don't you think it's amazing thing? To me, it's very much amazing, and I really appreciate for that reality. Thank you very much again, and yeah, I welcome any questions if time allows. Thank you. The mic is to you, your end. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Mai Fujii, for the insightful and inspiring presentation. You all know, Japan has welcomed a large number of Indonesian nurses and caregivers over the years. Yeah. Okay, now we move to the Q&A session. Yeah, and this is a participant chance to engage directly with our speaker. If you all of you guys have a question, you're very welcome to raise your hand and we will invite you to speak. Or if you prefer, you can type your question in the chat column and I will be happy to read it out for you. Feel free to ask anything, whether it's about the topic, the experience, or something that spark your curiosity during the talk. All right, the floor is officially open for your question. I think in the chat column we have two questions from Bapak Agustri Joko Suseno. Maybe Bapak Agus can speak, or I want to read the question.
Yeah, to save time, I can also read and answer. It's no problem.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I will read it first about the question. Yeah. The first question from Bapak Agustri Joko Suseno. Japan's LTCI was designed for demographic pyramid. Now that it looks more like a pillar, what is the politically least painful path to keep the system solvent? Raising premiums, expanding the contributor base, or redefining eligibility? The first question. Maybe Ibu Mai can answer the first question first. And the second question from from Bapak Agustri Joko Suseno, with the 2040 problem looming, does Japan have a realistic timeline for when the LTCI system will no longer be financially self-supporting without major structural reform? Yeah, maybe Bu Mai can answer the questions from Bapak Agus. Bu Mai, sorry, you are mute.
Thank you very much, Agus. This is very much fundamental question, and this is very critical issue. And the least, political least painful path is very difficult. But right now, even this morning, I saw the news, is probably put more, as you say, money from individual pocket to the government side. So probably our tax will increase. And another thing is, as I explained, the old people now pay only 10%. However, it's gonna be, say, 15%, 18% or something. The portion of their coverage may be increased. And another thing we are now talking as a government is maybe the tax system, the rich pay more. Yeah. So we already have this system, but we may put more severe system for rich and rich, probably. Yeah. And its timeline is very difficult. However, as I said, by 2050, we will have bankruptcy if we welcomed, and we keep this, if we keep this style, it is said, yeah. It was told by 2030, but now we try to change. For example, stopping the pension. We used to receive pension at age of 60, now 65, now 67. So same as the medical aspect as well. We just keep changing and keep changing and keep changing, somehow try to survive, something like this. And yeah, and the second question is also very important. And the discussion is not ending yet. Who ultimately decide the balance? In my opinion, I think it's supposed to be individual, of course, because for happiness of the individual, the government supports and everything. On the other hand, some people say, as a under the government, we have our life. However, this is more philosophical aspect. We need to include, and people's way of thinking is different. So I think the government needs to establish the system as much as possible, and each government has slightly different systems. That's the limitation. And for those given systems, I think ultimately individual can choose. That's the idea, I believe. I don't know if I responded perfectly to your question or not. If it's not now, please ask me back.
Yeah. Thank you, Ibu Mai. So what about Bapak Agus? Is that clear, or do you have some other question? I think it's enough, yeah. Very clear from Ibu Mai. Now we move to the second question from Farahia Suseno Putra. The first question is, Japan promotes aging in place, yet municipalities struggle with budget pressures. Who ultimately decides the balance between respecting individual performance preference and maintaining fiscal sustainability? As dementia prevalence rises, how long can Japan ethically rely on surveillance-based technologies, sensors, geofencing, AI monitoring, before crossing the line into excessive intrusion? Does the increasing phenomenon of hodokushi represent a failure of the LTCI framework, or is it a deeper reflection of societal change that LTCI alone cannot address? Maybe Ibu Mai can answer the question from Farahia Suseno.
Yeah. Yeah, the AI is still, we don't have a clear answer. And but still, what is the most important thing is to probably respect the person's own will. But of course, as you say, dementia, it is not any longer possible after the dementia. So what we right now, the government try to recommend and try to set up the system is when you are young, even before you reach the age of 65, develop something like will. What do you want to do? Do you want to how do you want to treat your, for example, left computer or your items, your house and etc. and anything. We also developed the format for that as well. And AI monitoring is another very much difficult issue. And without notification or consent, the son and daughter is now started setting up and etc. And now it is in the very much severe discussion. So if in your country has better discussion or more advanced theory or policy, I think our country needs to learn. All right. Then, kodokushi. Oh, thank you for this word. Yeah, kodokushi. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, and the kodokushi looks bad, of course. But let's think about until the time of that person have died. Is that person happy or unhappy? I think it could be both, or it is not really clear. Of course, kodokushi. Then after kodokushi was discovered, it is considered as a problematic phenomenon. However, it could be the person's will until the last moment or the time they end the life they do not want to show any person. So probably it is not failure. In Japanese societies, people won't consider as a failure. And of course, but the latter part is true. It's a reflection of society. It's a social change, and we couldn't manage only for this care providing services. This is true. However, there is another discussion that accept this may happen. And as long as that person accept this consequence, let the person do. That's another concept that recently raised. Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay. Thank you, Ibu Mai.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything other questions? Is there any other questions from all of the participants? I think can raise your hand or write down your question in the chat column. I think no other question, Ibu Mai. Yeah. Okay. Maybe Q&A session is closed and end. Yeah, before we officially close our session, we would like to present a certificate of appreciation to our amazing speaker, Ibu Mai Fujii from Meio University, Okinawa, Japan, and head nursing Ibu Ipati kindly present the certificate to Ibu Mai Fujii.
Okay, thank you, Mutia. Hello, Ibu Mai.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Enggak.
Hello.
Okay, hello. Yeah, Ibu Mai, thank you very much for sharing your expertise during this lecture, and please accept this certificate as a sign of our sincere appreciation. And we certainly look forward to the opportunity of collaborating with you again in the future. Thank you, Ibu Mai.
Thank you so much.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibu Mai.
Let's share a moment together. We'd like to invite our partner with your so please will pick up your best mark. Okay. The first slide may be
Sorry, your voice was a little bit thing.
fine.
Miss Mutias, your connection, I think.
Yeah, connection. Yeah, I couldn't hear. Yeah, connection.
Okay. Outstation. Thank you so much to people
Thank you.
invite us, and thank you all the participants for your engagement. This session has given you a new perspective and a little bit about cooperative nursing and a pleasure of the teacher for time and make it your speech, practice, and cooperate. Thank you, Mai Fujii, Ph.D. and and maybe setup and wide
Cakep.
And brighten the world we each day.
Hey.
Everyone, have a wonderful day.
stay in
And see you at the
the
next event. Thank you,
thank you.
everyone. See you today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Mai. See you in the next event.
Can I
Thank
ask about
you.
Miss Mai? Can I email your interesting about long term?
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Miss Mai.
Okay. Thank you.